There comes a moment in everyone's life when the weight feels unbearable. Not because you are weak, but because you have been strong for too long. You wake up tired. You go to sleep tired. And somewhere in between, you try to convince yourself to keep moving even when your heart feels heavy. Some days, the world becomes quiet in the worst way possible. No encouragement. No recognition. No sign that your effort is leading anywhere. And that is usually the moment people quit. Not because they lack talent. Not because they are incapable. But because they mistake slow progress for failure. The truth is, growth rarely looks dramatic while it is happening. A tree does not burst from the ground overnight. A river does not carve through stone in a single day. And a person does not become stronger after one good morning. It happens slowly. Silently. In moments nobody claps for. Every late night. Every quiet sacrifice. Every time you choose discipline over comfort. You are becoming someone your past self would admire. But exhaustion has a dangerous voice. It whispers things like, maybe it's not worth it. Maybe you should stop trying. Maybe you are falling behind. And if you listen too closely, you begin to forget how far you've already come. You forget the battles you survived. The pain you carried quietly. The mornings you got up anyway. You focus so much on the distance left to travel that you ignore the strength it took just to make it this far. Listen carefully. Being tired is not a sign to quit. It is a sign that you have been fighting for something meaningful. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not superhuman. They feel doubt. They feel fear. They feel exhaustion just like everyone else. The difference is that they keep walking even when motivation disappears. Because motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like weather. But purpose stays. And when your purpose becomes stronger than your excuses, everything changes. There will be days when your progress feels invisible. Days when nobody understands your vision. Days when your mind tells you that resting forever sounds easier than continuing. Rest if you need to. Pause if you must. But never confuse rest with surrender. A pause is temporary. Quitting is permanent. You do not need to have everything figured out today. You do not need to move fast. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to keep going. One small step. One more attempt. One more sunrise. Because consistency creates miracles that motivation never could. The strongest people are often the quietest ones. The ones carrying invisible battles while still showing up every day. The ones who continue despite disappointment. Despite heartbreak. Despite failure. Especially after failure. Failure is not proof that you should stop. It is proof that you tried. And every successful person you admire has failed more times than you realize. What matters is not how many times life pushes you down. What matters is whether you decide to rise again. Remember this. The finish line is not reserved for the most talented person. It belongs to the person who refused to quit. Your dream does not ask you to be fearless. It asks you to be faithful. Faithful enough to continue when results are slow. Faithful enough to believe in your future before the evidence appears. And one day, the struggle that nearly broke you will become the story that inspires someone else to keep going. One day, you will look back at this season of your life and realize that the moments you wanted to quit were the moments that built your strength. So when your body feels exhausted, when your thoughts become heavy, when the road ahead looks endless, take a breath. Look at how far you have already come. You survived days you once thought would destroy you. You made it through pain you never talked about. And you are still here. Still trying. Still fighting. Still becoming. That matters more than you know. So do not stop because it is difficult. Do not stop because progress feels slow. And do not stop because nobody notices your effort yet. Great things take time. The river keeps flowing. The sun keeps rising. And you must keep moving too. Not because the journey is easy, but because the person waiting for you at the end of it is worth becoming. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done.